Hello lovelies, it's Lesley. Not quite enough brain space for most of the things I need to do. So usual then, how are we? Hope everyone's okay. Thanks for all your comments and thoughts and your support during my interesting couple of weeks that I talked about last week. Hope you're all doing well and those you care about are thriving. Back to normal. It's Sunday as I record this. I'm back to work tomorrow, so I'm just spending a little bit of time kind of getting ready, sorting out a few bits on my desk, which if you saw my desk you wouldn't believe I've just said that, and kind of clearing the decks a little bit to start the working week with gusto and enthusiasm. You know what I mean. It's been kind of doing jobs that I've been putting off, sort of getting in touch with people that I'd been meaning to do, and just letting the designer of my test knit know that I regret it deeply, but I'm not going to be finished in time for the deadline, which comes this week. I spent most of yesterday knitting on it and it's just not going to be finished in time, which I am disappointed about, but I've let her know, you know, I've tried to make it as right as I can be, but I do feel like I'm letting people down and I don't like to do that. However, there is only finite time in life, and that's just the reality. Yeah, it's almost a sentence as well. So I'm going to carry on with a few bits and pieces and I'll catch up with you later in the week. Cheers. Bye-bye. Hello lovelies. How are we? It's Wednesday. Looking a bit rough this morning, but I haven't got to go anywhere, so I'm going to live with that. Hope everyone's okay. Couple of things to talk about with other podcasters. And firstly, the fantastic Aquilla of the Lefty Knitter podcast reached 2,000 subscribers and deserves many, many more. So if you're not watching Aquilla, highly recommended. Aquilla does a lot of different crafts, predominantly knitting, but she also does crochet, she does a bit of spinning, she does cranking with a circular sock machine, her husband has dyed yarn, and whatever crafty stuff takes her fancy. She's a very creative person. So she reached 2,000 subscribers and she pulled pattern prizes for people who'd commented on a vlog podcast, and then my phone rang. I'll forgive that interruption because it was my dad. So he's doing well. Lots of things sort of being set up and in place and all going smoothly, so that's all good news. Yes, so Aquilla, 2,000 subscribers. Become another if you're not one of the 2,000. And she offered pattern prizes and I won one. And I opted for the Prairie Grove. Now I've printed it out in my usual black and white, so I'll put a picture on screen here. This is the Prairie Grove by Samantha. Can't read this writing. I'll put that on the screen as well. So it's a cropped, boxy shaped, sort of fairly loose knit with a lace panel at the bottom, which I thought would be a good overdress sweater. So thank you very much, Aquilla. Congratulations on 2,000. And yeah, really recommend her podcast. Very, very entertaining. Now, talking of other podcasts, the lovely Valerie, who is one of the kindest hearted people you will ever get to meet. She's the lady who hosts the IT side of the Flame and Fibre Zoom call. Valerie and her husband have a podcast, which is A Visit with Nana and Papa. I will link them below. Those of you who are regular knitters but haven't made a garment before and are perhaps a bit apprehensive about doing so, Valerie is running a Make Your First Sweater knit along. And she is running it with Zoom calls, so you can have real-time guidance as part of a group. She's doing tutorials. She is just giving so much of her time because she is just a generous-hearted person. She really is. There are two specific patterns. One's DK, one's fingering or 4-ply weight. They're both by Tiff Nealon. Can't remember the name of them, but I'll link to Valerie's channel so that you can go and get all the details. It starts from the 2nd of September. Now the patterns that she's chosen, they're both constructed in a very similar way, so that's why she's got the two sort of running concurrently. They are paid for patterns, but if that's something that is a concern, she has some scholarships going that you can get in touch with her and a pattern will be given to you. So please don't let budgetary concerns be a stopping point for that. She's also done a video on finding good budget yarns to make the sweater, because we all know knitting a sweater is an investment in time but also an investment in money, and that is a very variable thing depending on what type of yarn you want, can afford to use. So she's put together a video of finding good quality, good value yarns for the sweater. And again, I will put the details down below, so if you're thinking of making your first sweater and you want to be helped along with the process, Valerie is very generously offering that with this make along. So if that's for you, good luck and enjoy, and welcome to the dark side. Once you've made your first sweater, we've got you. I'm being cheeky as always. That's it for now. I'm just making a pocket for my chroma sweater, and I will come back to you later in the week. Cheers. Hello lovelies. Finished some spinning. I applied this yesterday. This is from the bat that I was spinning a couple of weeks ago. I'm quite pleased. I'll talk about it more at the month end, but I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I was worried about even making a very muddy sort of yarn, and this is showing the colours quite distinctly. So very pleased with that. Applied it yesterday, so I need to get it onto the niddy noddy and soak it and thwack it and do all the things to stop it curling round itself too much, but it seems to be behaving pretty well. The bobbin's not, it's just fallen over, but everything else has. Talking of yarn acquisition, himself, when I came back from my dad's last week, himself was away. We've been doing tag team dog watching, and he was in Ireland. He was in Cork, then Dublin, then Belfast. And in Cork, he went to this place, Yarn Vibes, and it's all about the Irish wool. So it's 100% Irish wool. Susan of Wild Cottage would be very proud of me for this. Another podcast to watch. Susan deals with a lot of Irish yarns, Irish breeds of sheep, that kind of thing. And himself got me a couple of yarns. They're both sport weight. They're both 100% Irish wool. Right, so our yarn is made from 100% natural Irish fleece from mixed mountain sheep raised on Irish farms. So this one is from County Tipperary, and the colour is called Glen Sea. And this one, it doesn't say where it's from. No, it doesn't say where it's from, but lovely purples, pinks. Very pretty. So, as I say, I'll talk about everything more at month end, but we've got a little bit of yarn acquisition, which matches my shirt. How lovely. I feel like I've prattled on a bit this week, so I'm going to finish it here. Coming up, we've got a bank holiday weekend, so Monday will be a day off and the rain is forecast. That's usual for bank holidays. Saturday, hoping the weather won't be raining. Our neighbours are having a barbecue. They started doing this sort of post-COVID every year, invite everyone in the street, which is lovely. Himself isn't around, unfortunately. He's got a football match to go to, but I will go and eat food and clink glasses and chat to my neighbours, so that'll be lovely. And then Sunday, going to see my dad. He's still got one of my sisters staying there at the moment. We are getting ready for him to be living independently plus, I would call it, because he does have carers arranged to go in to help a couple of times a day. But yeah, he's pretty much going to be living on his own, so that will be interesting. We've got the emergency button set up, the lifeline, so that if he does have any problems or any emergencies, he can press the button and speak to someone to get help. That's all falling on biggest sister, because she's the one who lives nearest. I'm more than happy to be on the list, but I'm an hour and a half away, whereas she's within half an hour, so she doesn't mind it falling on her, and we're very grateful. But yeah, I'll go and see him on Sunday. Judging by speaking to him and the messages coming through from my sister, he's doing really well. Keeping busy, getting used to what life is like now, which is good. So that's my week coming up. Also back to work with a vengeance. Lots of writing up to do and visits and things. So plodding on. I may even finish this test knit. I'm feeling at a very sort of gutty stage of it because it's very oversized. The pattern comes out on Friday. I'll talk about that at month end and next week. It's very oversized, so at the moment it just feels like I'm doing a lot of knitting and not getting very far. But it will sort itself. These things always do. Anyway, I really have prattled on long enough, so thank you again for all your warm wishes and support. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're well. I hope that those you care about are hale and hearty. And I'll see you tomorrow for month end, although that will be possibly shorter than this vlog, the way things stand at the moment. And I'll see you next week if you watch the vlogs. Thanks ever so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.